Hi and welcome to Different Leaf, a show for new and experienced cannabis consumers. I'm Brit Smith. It's finally the holiday season, a time for reunions, rest and relaxation. Well, for some of us. For a lot of us, the holidays are a super stressful time. Whether it's because you're seeing too many people, not enough people, or you're seeing the kind of people you don't want to see. Maybe it's the financial burden that comes with months of buying new clothes and decorations and gifts. For me, it's the lengthy travel sessions and simply having to stay in other people's homes. Either way, the holidays can definitely be a tough time to chill. But the good news is, the rumors are true. Cannabis is and has long been a very helpful tool for actually getting to enjoy the holiday season, even if you're in charge of kids. In this new era of legalization, parents nowadays are more open to consuming cannabis around their kids, talking to them about it, and enjoying it together with other adults instead of sneaking off to the garage. Parents also have the option now of dosing themselves slowly throughout the day so they don't get too spaced out. They can buy nifty little dab pens and they can use concentrates so they don't smell of smoke, and they've got lock boxes to keep their stash in. There are lots of great tricks to get high as an adult while remaining responsible. So this episode, we're going to chat with 3 mums who use marijuana about their favorite ways to ingest pot at the holidays while staying present with the family. We'll chat about their favorite methods of ingestion, the stigma around parenting and weed, including during postpartum, and how they discuss their chosen intoxicants with their little ones. We'll be right back to chat with Kristi, Cara, and Amy about parenting and pot. Thank you all so much for coming on the show and chatting with us about consuming at the holidays as a parent. So we've got 3 mums who use cannabis with us today. Cara Crabb-Burnham, who's a cannabis consultant here in Massachusetts. Kristi, who is a massage therapist and uses cannabis. And Amy, who's the sales manager at Bountiful Farms, one of my favorite cannabis companies in the state. Let's chat first about your kids' ages. Cara, I know your son just turned 7, and Kristi, your little girl is 6?
She is a little over 6.5. It goes by in a flash, especially the first 2 years.
Yeah.
So she's going to be 7 in just a few months.
And Amy?
So I actually just had my second. So my son is 2, and my daughter just turned 6 months.
2 and 6 months?
Yeah.
Handful, wow.
Yeah, she was a blessing, but definitely, surprise.
Cool. So what does everybody like to consume when it's not the holiday season? Cara, are you usually a smoker, vapor? Do you like edibles?
Generally, I'm a smoker. I'm also really into topicals and transdermal applications. I have muscle pain, and I love bathing in it.
I love a CBD soak, yes. Amy, how about you?
So back before kids, I was only a smoker and primarily joints, blunts. I didn't really even use that much glass. And I really had to adjust how I was consuming, right? Because, but cannabis is better than a lot of other substances, but there are negative harm effects with certain things like smoke on your clothes or smoke in the environment, or just how medicated you may get smoking a joint. So I primarily right now just use rosin, and I use it in a Puffco. I find I'm able to really titrate, but also really control how medicated I'm feeling, how high I actually feel. It's also, smokeless. I can use it upstairs in the bathroom with the fan on, and I don't feel any shame or guilt or that I'm endangering my child in any way or exposing them to something they shouldn't be exposed to. So really rosin has been my primary mode of consumption.
And Kristi, she goes out and vapes, and that's another way to do it, have a little oil vape cartridge.
I am definitely much more a vape kind of girl. I don't really smoke a lot of flower. It's just not my favorite. I do occasionally, maybe once or twice a year, a little bit of edibles, but mainly vape pen.
Now, not necessarily with vapes, but a lot of parents would be nervous to try concentrates.
Back in the day, to consume concentrates, you needed a torch, and it could be intimidating to some. I feel like especially parents, the last thing you want is a blowtorch sitting around your house. So any sort of electronic rig, it feels a lot safer, a lot more contained, and it's a lot less maintenance. I know there's people that are tried and true, like they won't abandon their quartz glass, and that's just the only way they're going to consume concentrates. But for parents especially, there's other brands other than Puffco too that are a little bit more affordable or entry level.
You know, there's I think probably a difference in how you use cannabis daily and medically and recreationally throughout your life. And then when it comes to trying to relax at the holidays with cannabis, and there are kids running around who you've really got to watch out for, because I have a feeling that like at the holidays they go a little crazier, right?
Yeah, no, they definitely do. And what it is they're in a new space that they're not usually in all the time, right? You're going to people's homes that are not baby proofed, right? So like you can't be so medicated that like you still gotta keep your eyes on the prize. You know, they're going after those plugs and the fancy chinaware on the walls.
Right.
They're messing with the lazy boy settings, trying to, So that's really is the hard part, is finding the balance between this is a stressful situation and I'm choosing to medicate, but then also I am fully plugged into what my child's doing at all times because this home has not been baby proofed.
Yeah, so that's really something that you've got to watch out for. Like if it's your first time and you want to take a gummy and, you're not in your own home, maybe just take a couple looks around and make sure that the place you're in is really okay for you to go ahead and chill out on a gummy while your kid's there.
Right, yeah. Thankfully, both of my husband and I's families are very good and they all pitch in and help. It's very much, when we're there, it's a village energy.
Yeah.
So, we have a lot of support in that regard. So I don't want to sound like I'm complaining too much, but yeah, you can't medicate like you necessarily would at your own home in your own safe space, where you have kind of full control over the situation.
Cara, your son's the oldest. He's not a toddler that you have to watch. He's 7, so it's different issues that you have to deal with at that age. Do you talk to him about cannabis yet?
Well, my kid has grown up. It's just in the house. I mean, it's not accessible to him, but it's not hidden either. And not just in my house and, other people in our family that consume cannabis or, in the same way people in other families consume alcohol. I mean, you have a glass of wine with dinner, you have a beer before or after, you have an aperitivo when you're, having dessert. It's just mom and Nana are getting testy. They went outside on the porch for a minute.
This is mom's medicine or...
Yeah. My son knows it as it's medicine, but I don't even harp on it being medicine or any kind of medication. It's just another thing that grown-ups use that he's not allowed to use.
Yeah, she knows that this is medicine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've called it since she was little because I didn't want her to have a stigma around it.
Yeah.
She knows she's not supposed to touch it if it falls down, like if I drop it on the floor. For a long time, she would be like, do you need me to get that, Mom? And I just...
Can I pick up your vape pen for you, Mother? What a good girl.
No, you may not. She's really good at and I have my edibles that are stacked in the corner of our bathroom. And he has told her, this is medicine. Do not touch this.
Right.
Because I have so many actual prescriptions, we are very adamant about this is not for you. And she's never really messed with anything. She's never been curious about what's this candy? And I keep that in a lockbox up top on my dresser that's almost as tall as me.
Yeah, but that's not saying much because how tall are you?
5'2".
I am proud of it. Kristi, you'd said that you'd also used pot when you were a brand new mom. Can you tell us what that was like?
Oh, no, I totally did. I was going to say I didn't use cannabis for the first few months of Rosie's life, but I did because I had postpartum depression.
Right.
And postpartum anxiety, and the postpartum depression went undiagnosed for a few years. So, that's just what it is. It helped with certain aspects of me not losing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it changed every year. It definitely We lived in a non-legal state for 2 years of that, and that was very rough. Moving back to Colorado was very helpful. My mental health has been much better, especially during the holiday seasons, because basically I used to just be a mess for the entire month. That's partially why we did just family Thanksgiving just between the three of us.
Yeah. Thank you for opening up about that. So, Cara, I know that you use it like most days for medical reasons, but as a parent, how does that change when you're trying to use cannabis to celebrate? Like the rest of us, the adults who don't have kids on the holidays will try and get super, super high. Do you do that, or are you trying to sort of keep it together for the kids?
Honestly, I've never been a super, super high vibe person, at least not since college.
Yeah.
I remember one time in college, I got so high I couldn't move my arms. And to this day, it's still the highest. That might not be true. And it's not a goal anymore to get, out of my mind high. I don't really enjoy it. And I particularly don't enjoy it when I'm outside of my home. Yeah, I'm a moderation queen, man. I barely drink, and when I do, that's super in control. And
And Kristi, how about you?
Quite frankly, I feel like I can get a buzz on. I was raised in a family of Irish Catholics who drank like fish. But yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'll go run upstairs or run outside and she won't notice.
She doesn't notice, but it helps you to chill out.
Yes. I try not to do it a whole bunch during the day because then I get paranoid that I'm going to speak weird or sound like I'm a glitch in the Matrix. Honestly, I feel like it makes me less snappy, and I don't smoke during the day at all, typically, or don't hit my vape. But during Christmas time, it'll be more during the day.
Yeah. I'm a flower smoker and I really love flower, and I'm trying right now to plan my family, and I'm like, oh my gosh, in holidays to come, I won't be able to go have a joint because I'll smell of smoke. I didn't think about it.
Well, it's always, I still smoke flower, and we have, my husband and I we go very old school, like smoking jackets. So that we have a jacket that's like oversized and really big, and we put that
cool.
And it immediately goes off, and it's hung at the door, and we're not bringing it in the house, if we're choosing to smoke flower. But yeah. We used to just smoke joints in our living room, we would pass it down the living. We can't do that anymore, even if the kids aren't home. You really just can't be gassing that space out like that.
Yeah.
Maybe get the air purifier going if you need to be, but there isn't really any space that we can isolate away from the children, other than, say, the bathroom. And so that's also the ease of use of something like electronic reg. It's really easy to put up high, keep away. There's not a lot of components to it. Is Puffco with its shiny lights, if my son ever lays eyes on that, it would be game over. So he can't see it, because look at that, it's so pretty with the lights and stuff. It's
a very, very cool piece. So it's like this electronic, like an old Sherlock Holmes looking pipe, but it's electronic, and it takes concentrates like waxes and resins and all of that, and you take this tiny little scoop and you just sort of let it evaporate almost, but it looks so futuristic and cool. If I was a kid, I would also want to play with it. So yeah, put it up high. Right?
Up high. And they're not affordable either. So
yeah, that's a good bit of money. Being conscious of just me being around my nieces and nephews, I love to smoke flower. I do smoke flower, but I want to tell them also that smoking is not great for you. So how do you talk about smoking or relaxants with kids?
Well, it's all honesty. You got to give accurate education. Smoking is not smoking is smoking. Smoking crack is not the same as smoking a cigarette. Is not the same as smoking a pipe of marijuana. Some of these things are more dangerous than others, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Cannabis users statistically have less cancer in